Last time we visited Meerkat Manor. The sad death of Flower had led to a mighty family feud and the breakup of the Whiskers. Maybelline defected to start her own group, the Aztecs, leaving Rocket Dog in charge of the Kalahari's favorite family. With arch enemies, the Commandos, and neighbors from hell, the Zapper, causing chaos, 4 groups were pitted against each other. The manor was on the brink of a territorial carve-up. Since the dramatic family split, the burden of leadership has lain heavy on the shoulders of the rival Whiskers sisters. Rocket Dog and Maybelline are both inexperienced leaders battling to make their mark in their respective clans. With most of the old guard gone, the next generation must face up to the tough challenges ahead. Success or failure for Rocket Dog and Maybelline may simply prove to be a matter of fate. As winter tightens its grip, it may be that the manor just isn't big enough for both of them. At the Whiskers burrow, the family of 33 are sunning themselves. A meerkat morning ritual. Rocket Dog has her work cut out, leading the largest group in the manor. There's an awful lot to deal with. Adopted youngster Axel and his new brother Rufus mess about before breakfast. Play fighting helps young meerkats develop skills they'll need later on in life. But for now, the boys just want to have fun. Last up is Zaphod, the grandfather of the group. As the oldest and most experienced Whisker, he's earned the privilege of a lie-in. And now sports his very own radio collar. Since Flower died, the pensioner has been without a mate. Instead, Zaphod is now a loyal supporter of his eldest daughter. And right now, Rocket Dog needs all the help she can get. With everyone up, she can finally lead her ravenous relatives out to find breakfast. A kilometre away, the smell of small mammals has lured something nasty onto the doorstep of Sister Maybelline's rebels. Feisty Maybelline has been getting a dose of her own deserting medicine of late. Over winter, most of her followers quit and returned to the Whiskers. Her hard core is down to a soft 7. Single-tunnel bolt-hole accommodation is cramping her style. Today, she must find a bigger burrow and end the Aztecs' nomadic existence. But something doesn't smell right. A supersized snake lying in ambush is a rude awakening for the senses, especially when there is so much recent history. This puff adder has one of the fastest strikes in the snake world. It may take more than head bobs and spit calls to convince it to go away. This is one stubborn snake in the grass. Little Murray, the Aztecs' only male, bravely tries to sneak up from the side. But he is no match for this monster, and fortunately, thinks better of it. Suddenly, the danger doubles. A martial eagle overhead. Maybelline only has one option left. The Aztecs are back to square one. For the rookie leader, the morning is not starting at all well. Out on the Whiskers foraging trail, Rocket Dog is experiencing the difficulties of running a large group. In midwinter, pickings are slim, and so is the family. When you're looking for a juicy scorpion, ants are a disappointing find. They're scant nutritional reward for the extra work it takes to catch them. But when rations are in short supply, no one can afford to be picky. It's Rocket Dog's job to keep everyone safely together, but the family are scattering far and wide. And fights are breaking out over food. Rocket Dog sorts out a squabble, but when she looks up, half the family are heading off in the opposite direction. The first year of leadership is never easy. Rocket Dog needs to get to grips with the multitasking demands of dominance, and fast. Finally, someone hears her desperate calls and the wayward foragers reappear. Rocket Dog quickly reasserts her control. For now, at least. Super Sentry Mitch has spotted an intruder. A mystery rover is circling the Whiskers. He's clearly got his eye on the ladies. And one lady has her eyes on him. Rocket Dog needs a new man. A rover is her only chance of pups this year. But every time a potential suitor shows up, Dad steps in and ruins her chances. Zaphod simply won't stand for the presence of a roving male. The mystery rover is rapidly outnumbered. For Rocket Dog, this is all too familiar. Job done. Zaphod the pensioner still has what it takes. But persistence is the key to successful roving. Rocket Dog's desert dish sneaks round the side for a second look. Zaphod was young once. He knows it's not over yet. He may not have age on his side, but Zaphod does have youth in the shape of several eager males. Rocket Dog's dating dreams disappear in a cloud of dust. The dashing rover finally gives the old man the slip, but this time it's Zaphod who may have gone too far. His overenthusiasm has landed the males in unknown territory, a long way from the rest of the family. Dad has really overdone it this time. Rocket Dog scans the horizon. Her mystery rover has vanished, but so too have Zaphod and her brothers. She's no way of knowing when or if they'll return. It's been an hour since Rocket Dog last saw Zaphod and her brothers as they chased off her hopes of romance with a mystery rover. Rocket Dog's anxious calls are still met with silence. It's looking less like a fleeting departure and more like a permanent split. Leading a large family without her dad's support will be hard work, but they must get back to foraging. Adopted Axel has found himself a wriggly challenge. A millipede is a decent snack, but he needs to make it edible. Rolling it in the sand rids the insect of its toxic coating. Now he needs to hang on to his hard-earned grub. Rocket Dog spots an easy meal. Or so she thinks. It's an extraordinary display of defiance from Axel, especially to a dominant. Keeping your head in a crisis while others are losing theirs is critical in leadership. Maybe Rocket Dog isn't cut out for this. She's already lost 7 males. Now she has a mutiny in her ranks. Surely today can't get any worse. Having finally escaped the bolt hole and the unwanted attentions of predators, Maybelline is determined to find a new home for her tiny Aztec clan. Burrow hunting in the manor is a grueling business. The best places are already taken, and there's a shortage of vacant property. But the nomads may have just struck lucky. The front door is big, but so are Maybelline's ambitions. Whatever has been living here clearly outsizes a meerkat. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be living here anymore. But what does live in a house like this? A lone stranger is out foraging. Little Murray and the girls have never seen an animal quite like this before. An aardvark out in daylight hours is an extremely rare sight. This normally nocturnal hunter can hoover up 50,000 insects in a night. Hunger seems to have forced this one out early. There's quite clearly no point picking a property fight with this muscled mammal. The Aztecs must keep looking. Night falls fast in the desert, and they still have nowhere to sleep. Some distance away, the Whiskers are heading back to their burrow. It's been a long, hard day for Rocket Dog. Another emergency is the last thing she needs. But something has been spotted in the bushes. Could it be Zaphod and the rest of the missing males? It's not, but this is even better. Rocket Dog's knight in shining armor is back. All Rocket Dog's birthdays have come at once. It looks like losing her father has gained her a lover. The rover could become her new dominant male. He could father her pups, and Rocket Dog could rise to be as mighty a leader as her mother flower. The future of the Whiskers could be secure. But, and there's always a but, he's brought the family with him. And they're not looking for love. It's the dreaded Commandos, the Whiskers' arch enemies. Having kicked the zapper out of the manor, the Commandos are ready for their next territorial takeover. Nikita, the vicious pup-eater, leads the invasion. She's been through more than a few wars in her time and has the scars to prove it. After the death of her partner in crime, One-Eyed Hannibal, Nikita has Rocket Dog clearly in her sights. Without Zaphod here to help her, Rocket Dog must think fast. Going head-to-head with Nikita would be more than a mere catfight. The inexperienced leader has only two options: fight or flight. The Commandos fearlessly start their advance. This is Rocket Dog's chance to show Nikita what the new-look Whiskers are made of. She starts the counterattack. But when these two tribes go to war, there are often casualties. Already 7 fighters down, Rocket Dog can't afford to lose any more family today. She slams the Whiskers into reverse throttle. It's now the charge of the Flight Brigade. The Commandos keep coming until the Whiskers are driven right off their patch. Maybelline's faring better in her own battle of the burrow. She's sniffed out a vacant property, but first impressions can be fatally deceptive. Billy bravely heads down to give it a thorough safety check. You never know what could be lurking around the next corner. There's a slightly odd smell, but nothing more sinister. A few home improvements could be made here and there, but it's of sound construction and benefits from multiple escape routes. But it may not be as vacant as it first appears. A lone yellow mongoose returning home is in for a shock. Little Murray sizes up the sitting tenant. not as menacing as this morning's puff adder, and not as big or weird as the aardvark. Time for Murray to show what he's made of. Easy. Seeing the Aztecs sitting on the porch, soaking up the last rays of sun, adds insult to the mongoose's minor injury. Maybe Maybelline is finally getting the hang of leadership. After a challenging start to the day, she's led the Aztecs to a burrow that they can at last call their own. The Whiskers, meanwhile, in a shock reversal of fortune, have been forced to seek sanctuary at a bolt hole after the day's turbulent events. This morning, Rocket Dog had a family burrow and 33 meerkats under her command. Now, she is down to 25 and homeless. The tables have turned on the two sisters. In the shifting sands of the Kalahari, winners can become losers in the blink of an eye. Next time on Meerkat Manor, there's love in the dunes when an old flame turns up at the Whiskers. And Zaphod and the boys head off in search of new ladies of their own.